Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, I'm here with Professor Anne. The other name is escaping me. Very unique name. Asay, and also Nina, who is a member of an organization, namely Woswa, where they are all about the girl child, the women, and walking them through, the things that are happening that we cannot ignore in our society. That is their security, vulnerabilities, encouragement to seek what is due of them and to mold them into amazing women in the society who can stand up for themselves. And the topic has been going on and on. We even pulled in the men into it because surely we can't ignore our men when we're talking about our women, and I'm happy that they're able to integrate men into that. Prof, could you again walk us through who can be part and parcel of Woswa in terms of, because I'm imagining, Nina, when she's out of uni, can she still be part of it? How do you factor in the runnings of Woswa business?
Okay, yeah, Woswa, they join when they join the university from first year, then we work with them up to the final year, but they can still come back. Like one of the leaders of Woswa is Mary Ojuang, who has left the university but came back for her master's.
Yes.
Is very active in Woswa. So Woswa is not closed down when you when you graduate from the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
You can still come and be part of Woswa. You can support Woswa also. Woswa gets a lot of support from the students who have gone. The girls' activities are quite many, and I've told you even the boys have joined us. So all this, it is, there is no funding. So we look at our sisters, those who have gone, to help us in fund some of our activities. And especially the integration of the boys, which we are very keen on.
Yes.
Now that comes with another group, which they say that we don't leave them, and we are not going to leave them, because if we leave them and they go astray, they'll blame us. So we are trying to walk everybody up with us. Even those who have graduated are still welcome to join Woswa and join the university. There's University of Nairobi Alumni Association. We are integrating it with Woswa.
Nice.
So that people can just work together. University of Nairobi is home to many, 260,000 plus who have graduated from that university.
Yes.
So if we bring all these people here, the ladies, I think Woswa will be a big thing. We'll be even having a Woswa complex.
It's true.
Which will take care of the both boys and the girls and the university, and it will be just a home away from home. Yeah, everybody can come and say, this is my university, and this is what I want to do to the girls. This is what I want to do to the boys. Yeah, so that one will reduce vulnerability to both. We are not looking at girls alone. I'm not looking at Nina. I'm looking at Jaden, I'm looking at Nesto and all the others who are at the University of Nairobi. So that's how we want to walk everybody through the association. We link Woswa with other networks within the university and those who are outside, so that they can come back and join us in working with Woswa, working with the girls and working with the boys, and we move on as one. Thank you.
That is so incredible, knowing that, once you move away from the university, and I can foresee one here. Nina seems like the kind of a person who will never let it go, because she's very proactive when it comes to what can I learn, what can I be part of, and how can I be part of it. And yourself having taken psychology, and you being very keen on mental health, which again is another factor that is affecting a lot of students especially. It's just incredible to see the foundation that is being created for students and former students, and hopefully volunteers like myself. Someday it doesn't hurt to give, to give back to the younger girls. Great. Back to the topic at hand, International Women's Day. And I think I'm going to lean more on what Prof would say, but for you, Nina, what is it to you? Have you seen any changes along, the last couple of years? Are you seeing something coming? And what does it involve really for people who maybe are hearing about it for the first time, or just they know, International Women's Day, imepita. Can you maybe just elaborate to the audience?
Right. I am actually excited that the day is almost here. And when it comes to changes, yes, we've seen massive changes, especially when it comes to women empowerment, because our theme actually is empower the girl child. And over the years, previously there were no such, maybe the day was there, but it wasn't really recognized as it is this year. And a lot of people now, also the males, are embracing it, because it's not only a day, it is a day where we're looking at what women have done over the years. It's more of celebrating what they have done, at the same time empowering them in different ways. And personally also, as we look at the day, I also did something which could now be more of a contribution to the same. That is what I'm holding here.
Nice.
It's called
Please
African
tell us more about that. Is this your latest?
Yes, it's my latest.
Goodness. Well done, Nina. And FYI, for those who don't know, she's an author. She already has two other books. Two other books on mental health. One of them is on anger management.
Yes.
She's brilliant. Please tell us more about the African Daughters. Yes.
Being a member of Woswa, I'm not only thinking at myself or about myself as an African daughter, I'm also looking at my sisters who are part of the organization and also other women out there. So I compiled this book more of a celebration of us as women, looking back at what the tradition of the society expects us to be, and then the modern society also has its own expectations. So how do we match these as women, at the same time get to achieve our dreams and goals? It is also a book that is very, very proactive in engaging women with a 30-day challenge each and every day. But generally, it's more of empowering women and appreciating, also looking at the challenges that we faced. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Nina, she always, she challenges me, because, it's not, again, it's not easy, and there's no excuse not to do what you want to do and to do it now. And a lot of us are trapped in the idea stage other than executing it. I mean, if Nina can do it, everybody else can. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. I can't wait to take a look at that book. Great. Prof, could you again recap for us, assuming you've been here longer than us and also being in the education department, of course that means exposure to a lot of information. What does International Women's Day look like now as opposed to before, and exactly what is being celebrated? I've received a few flowers. I hope I can tomorrow, but other than the flowers, what does this day mark?
Okay, this day is very important, just from the theme, invest in women, accelerate progress. That alone tells us so many things. What is this that we are investing in women, and why do we have to invest in women? Do we have to invest in women to accelerate progress? And are we doing it? So for the Kenyans, let's look at the steps we've taken. What have we done? The number of women in parliament has increased, women in leadership, reproductive health issues, hospital. We have made some gains, not as Kenya, but globally. Despite the challenges and the barriers still there. So we are celebrating this progress. It could be little, but we are told that when women's progress is even 0.1%, that is a big achievement.
It is.
Yeah, so we are looking at these small achievements which have been there, and we are celebrating them. Because if we don't blow them out, nobody will blow them out for us.
Very true.
So we are looking at celebrating their social value, decision making, leadership, and all that space which they are now occupying. Yeah, our chief guest at the University of Nairobi International Women's Day is Her Excellency Dr. Honorable Ida Odinga.
Wow.
So who will be addressing the over 600 participants. You are all welcomed. We welcome people to come and resonate with us. Another chief guest we'll be having, another key guest will be Faith Onyango, who has just been elected the chairman of the Law Society of Kenya.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so Faith will be there to have a 30 minutes talk with the girls and the boys. So we are moving on. We can do so much together. Yeah, but we need to hold each other's hands. We need Faith, Ida, Nina, and the rest to hold each other's hands. I know in the village there are girls who may not even have a chance of watching this program, but how do we reach out to them and tell them that these are what is going on? Yeah, so maybe also challenge KBC. How can you reach the village and ensure that those girls with no television and the rest, they they can also resonate with what is happening among their people there. Let's look at Canada. If you cannot afford the television and the rest, there are sports you just go and see and watch an event. So I think the media houses should come strong to the villages and help us. We are there with you, and help us as we talk about these things. How do you now take it out? Taking out is now your role. So if we take it out, we will reduce some of the vulnerability, both for the boys and the girls, because they will be understanding this. But when we talk here in Nairobi, then they'll say, like in Kajiado, last year we were told when we went to Kajiado, we were talking about climate change. They told us, don't tell us about climate change. We don't know how to read and write. First teach us how to read and write. So that's how the community looks at us. So let's go to the community and understand the community, but let's have the media play their role in reaching out to this community so that the information is there. When you demonstrate in Nairobi on femicide, what is it in my village in Siaya? They don't know what you're doing. So let's see how to work all this through. I think education is good, but let education resonate with what is going on. Let the children get the right education, education which can propel them to be leaders. If there is a girl in high school, maybe in Form 1 in Peketoni, this girl wants to be Nina. How is Nina relating with this girl so that she can be a future Nina, she can be a future journalist, a future engineer, and the rest. She can be a future lawyer like Faith, and one time be an LCK chair. I'm told it's a very competitive position.
It is.
So I think those are some of the things which we have for you tomorrow. Please let others also join us, and they are welcome to University of Nairobi. We will be at Manu Chandaria Hall. The big hall there is modern state-of-the-art hall, and we will be there with all the girls. We have welcomed the boys with an open hand. They are all welcome. So let's come together. Whatever we share, whatever is there, we will share as a family, as a university. We look at the global perspective. Global excellence means excellence for everything else. Thank you.
My goodness, I'm blown away, and I can't help but think of these 600 participants. And yes, indeed, the challenge is on for media to also penetrate into those deep roots and places that they're just saying femicide and women dressed in white and red, and they don't even know the meaning of femicide. You know, exactly. And it's really bad, such that when I reflect on my own personal work, where I've worked, say, with women who undergo FGM, I could hear stories, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we have a long way to go. And such stories would be, there are even women who opt to do it so that they can fit in the society. And so they usually segregate them, they stereotype them and call them immoral. You never get a husband, you don't belong to this group, you're not a woman yet, you should be, you know, even here it's bad, it happens. The actual, exactly, that's what the rebels, you know, live in. And I do agree with you, we have to start with what we have. The message that reaches a Nairobi woman or a woman in the UK or in the US, Canada, Australia is not the same message that will reach that girl in the deepest village somewhere, because according to her, it's normal. It's normal to be beaten up. And I've seen even very well, you know, exposed women who come and say, oh, I thought it was normal for my husband to beat me because I saw my dad doing it. But then when she learns what it is, then she's like, oh, so it's not right. It's not right. But I do agree on education, and maybe this is something else I can throw to you. You see, every participant or every member of this organization, I'm assuming they all have a certain level of knowledge and exposure. Why not encourage them also to pick mentees? You know, once you go to Siaya or Bomet or whatever, you pick a mentee and say, I'm going to work with this girl, or I'm going to work with this boy. And sometimes mentorship doesn't have to be complicated. It's just fine-tuning their minds and telling them, you don't have to give up, you know, on your morals in order to get 50 shillings for the pads. To find another way to do it, or this is how you can do it. And that's all it takes, because if you don't mentor and mold these young people, by the time they're out here, it's why we are seeing so many sad cases and instances, because this person does not have it in them that I can drive that Range Rover one day, you know, I can make my own money and I will spend it without thinking twice. But then you find there's a lot of vulnerability in that, and I'm glad it's one of your big mantras with the organization. And gosh, I'm very, very inspired today where I sit, because what you're doing is something that probably just needs to be told. The story must reach there, and I do encourage the media once again, the government obviously, and now each and every member to just hold another person's hand and pull them up. That's the only way to grow, right? Whew, Nina, any thoughts on the same? Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. Maybe how did we manage to maybe pull up the International Women's Day for this year? Actually, we are not going to celebrate anything because we rely on funding from outside. We have one Eshe. Eshe is a reproductive health. The one who owns Eshe is from Russia.
Yes.
Stan is with us in the country. So he just looked at our Woswa website and saw what we are doing. So he told us that, how do I help you? Then he told him that, can you help us host the International Women's Day? Then he told us, what do you want? So Eshe said that we will reach this point, ask the university for the hall and the rest, and it was quite good. So we are hosting this event in support, with the funding from Eshe.
Yes.
Yes, they're the ones who have helped us host the event. Otherwise, Nina and the rest were not hosting this event. So we are looking at a situation whereby we also need to look at our local hosts. How can the local people also work with us? Not all the time we need to have people from outside coming to help. Let's see, as you say, that some of the local initiatives can also be supported within the local setup. How can we have the locals also supporting some of the activities which are going on, so that we don't look at the outside community so much for them to check their website. Then they help us in hosting an event which we could easily host within our country. So as we move on, let's try and be our brothers and sisters keepers and see what institutions are doing and supporting them. Thank you.
Wow, brilliant. Tina?
What I can request is, as males as females in our country, let us support one another. It's not that much nice to be always fighting against one gender and the other. There is no gender that is good than the other one. What we can do is integrate forces and at least work on something that we can be celebrating maybe annually, as we are celebrating women, so that we can also have what we are celebrating about men, what is the contribution. And so in regards to also the killings, it really doesn't do us good as a country. So what I could just add is, as we are celebrating International Women's Day, because I know it's a thing that will be going on and on for much, I would just request also the males, try appreciate someone who has maybe contributed in the tiny way possible, not only looking at as the grown women, how about the younger girls, the younger children, how can you impact their life differently?
I love that. There isn't a contribution that's too small. Any contribution is contribution, including that 5-minute conversation with a young girl in an interior area. I mean, I was very shocked when you said you expected a small group of 100 girls, but then 800 of them, boys and girls, came. That's how thirsty, the youth are. And again, also allow me to just advise, because this is my work in media, to also use and utilize social media for communication. It's one of the most powerful tools you'll ever find. And social media, it's not just Instagram, it's just not Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. There's WhatsApp. I think everybody right now, almost everyone has a smartphone. There's always that, and exactly, and that's all they'll need. Prof, could you just recap for us where the event is, what time, and yes, where and what time again?
Okay. For those who are interested in joining us for the International Women's Day celebration, led by Woswa and supported by Eshe at the University of Nairobi, the event will be held at Manu Chandaria Auditorium, Mandu Chandara is on the 6th floor of the University of Nairobi Towers. The event will start from 8:30 to 1:30. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, ladies, for making time. Once again, happy International Women's Day in advance, or happy International Women's Month, and keep up the good work you're doing. Nina, keep soaring. Prof, keep lending your voice. We do not take this for granted that you could sit here with us. So asanteni sana, and karibuni, you're always welcome here on The Nest. Great. I will not add any more because I think enough has been said. Once again, happy International Women's Day, happy International Women's Month, and both men and women come support each other. And let's make a difference. Let's make changes into what is going on with the society. Let's not be enemies. Let's love each other and grow each other. I've been your host, Maureen Waititu. Until next time, it's good night.